Hi everyone, I'm Alison and welcome to ZENTS Wellness Room. It's great to be back here. As you can see, I'm in New Mexico right now. I'm usually in Colorado, so I just want to welcome you to this beautiful landscape in New Mexico in the background. ZENTS Wellness Room is all about a place to come and practice being present with yourself, releasing tension in the body, calming the mind, and finding more resilience to show up for these times. So I want to welcome all levels today. If you're new, there'll be lots of variations. So you can just listen to your body and see what works best for you if this is new to you. So we're going to start with some breath work, and you can go ahead and come back onto your yoga mat and lie on your back. So we'll lie on our backs with the knees bent. And you can rest your hands on your lower belly. Okay, so feet are about hip distance apart, hands on the lower belly, and close your eyes. So allow yourself to turn inside, get a little more still. This morning when I woke up, I went outside and there was this incredible stillness in the air. There was no wind, it was beautiful, no stillness. And now there's lots of wind. And so I love the contrast, and finding that in our bodies today, I think is a nice thing to practice, finding both the stillness and the dynamic movement. So you're going to start with some ujjayi breaths. Hands are resting softly on your belly, and let the tip of your tongue rest on the roof of your mouth. And see if you can relax the face, any tension in the face as much as possible. Allow the shoulders to relax back. And we'll start with the ujjayi breath, so breathing with sound. You're going to breathe in and out through your nostrils. Find a soft smile on the corners of your mouth. And just start to deepen your breath. I'm not going to change it too much. You're just going to start to deepen the in-breath and see if you can fill evenly the breath into your torso. Notice where the breath goes easily. Maybe it's more challenging in certain areas. And then you're going to exhale to slow release of the out breath. We're going to slow. If you're used to kind of moving fast in your body, we're going to slow it way down. Okay? If you're used to being really slow, you might want to pick up the energy with the breath a little bit more. So long, slow ujjayi pranayama, ujjayi breathing. Relaxing your jaw and just noticing on the exhalation, the tension falling away from the shoulders, maybe the hips, the jaw. And then on the inhalation, you're going to explore just a little more spaciousness inside. So where do you feel contracted that you could actually explore having a little more space inside? So you can actually even notice a place in your body where there is tension. Something that's getting your attention in your body. And then just work on bringing the breath there and slowing it down and seeing if you can use your awareness along with the breath to open up more space in that part of your body. So we talked about this last time, just becoming your own inner body worker. And a lot of it is just awareness. So we'll take another 2 or 3 more ujjayi breaths and just simply listening to your breath. With every exhale, it's relaxing a little bit more, releasing any tension that's present. Great, everyone. And then on the next inhalation, we're going to slowly bring the right knee into the chest. And you can either keep this left knee bent or extend the left leg out. If your leg is extended out, you want to keep the thigh bone grounding as if there's a sandbag on your thigh. And then you'll inhale, reach the left arm overhead. So this is just going to get into the side waist a little bit more, opening up the side ribs. Keep finding your breath in the movement. Using your breath to go inside the body. Open up tension places. Exhale, draw the left knee in, extend the right leg out, or keep the knee bent, and then inhale the right arm up. And just work with your breath. Every exhale, finding a little more reach and extension. And then on your inhalation, explore more spaciousness inside. Try to meet the sensations with your breath. Good, and then exhale, draw both knees into the chest. We'll separate the knees a little bit and work the feet in circles, open the ankles. You can move in both directions. Great. And then we'll exhale, roll to the side. And we're going to press our way all the way up. By the way, I forgot to mention, the internet's been a little interesting here today. So if I happen to cut out for any reason, I will be right back. I'm not going to put that out there though. So we're going to come onto our hands and knees. And go ahead and take your hands directly underneath your shoulders and spread your fingers nice and wide. So you have the fullest surface of your hands are touching the floor. And then the knees are about hip distance apart, and start in a tabletop where the spine is neutral. Take a deep breath into your upper back. Exhale, soften your chest. And then we'll begin the cat-cow. Inhaling, arch the back, lift your chest. And then exhale, curl the tailbone, round the upper back, and tuck the chin in as you press the arms. And then on the inhale, arch the back, open the front. And on the exhale, curl and round. So you press into the ground as you round. And just start to move at your own pace. Inhaling, arching. And start to feel your way through your spine. Exhale, round. And two more breaths. Inhale. You can open up your throat and really look up with your eyes. You stretch your eyes, and then exhale. Look all the way in, stretching the back of the neck. And then on your inhalation, come back to a neutral position. Let's do a little core activation. Stretch the left leg back. And then you'll find your balance here and take the right arm out. If it's too much for balance, you can just keep the left leg out. Thing that you want to be careful here is not to collapse the lower belly. So you want to keep the belly lifting and keep hugging in towards the center line. And breathe. And take one more breath here from the belly, reaching through the toes and fingers. And then on your exhale, release your hand and switch sides. Right leg back. Inhale the left arm up. Take a breath here just to stabilize. And breathe. Lower belly is lifting as you inhale. And as you exhale, reach to the toes and fingertips. Keep a soft smile on your face. Inhale. And then exhale, release. And we'll step the left foot to the front of the mat. And then inhale, hands on the hips, and just take a pause moment here. So you're going to shift your hips back a little bit, just so you can find a neutral position in your pelvis. Imagine your pelvis is like a bowl. You don't want the bowl spilling forward, a bowl of water. So we're going to keep that bowl in a neutral position. The belly is in, tailbone is down. And then as you inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And if you can keep that neutrality in your pelvis, then you can start to sink a little bit deeper. Drop into the earth, ground down, and breathe. See if you can start to explore that balance of stillness. I like to find the stillness between the breaths and then that dynamic movement as you're breathing. So from the sides of your waistline, reach up through the fingers as you curl back, inhale. And on your exhalation, reach down. We'll take a gentle spinal twist to warm up the spine. Right hand down, left arm to the sky. And breathe. So wherever you are in your home situation, maybe you're stuck inside with your kids and you're not used to that, or your partner. Maybe you have lots of space and you're alone. So see if you can find that inner space of contentment. We call it santosha in the yoga tradition. Contentment. So feeling like you're okay. So as you inhale, breathing into that okayness inside. And then exhale, twist, and inhale, release. And we'll step back onto all fours. And then switch sides. Right foot forward. We'll go through this side a little more quickly. Hands on the hips. Just squeezing in, find that balance in the pelvis, neutrality. Inhale, sweep your arms up. So the upper arm bones are rolling in towards each other. Lower ribs come in. That helps to open up the back. Then you can sink a little bit more in. And gently curl your head back. Remember just to move slowly. If you're used to moving through a fast vinyasa class, this is a class that's going to slow you down, bring you more into awareness. Deep breath in as you curl back. And as you exhale, reach forward, left hand down, right arm to the sky, taking a nice gentle spinal twist. So you want to inhale, breathe, and infuse the spine. And then as you exhale, open, soften. So our yoga practice is really a dynamic practice. We're not necessarily trying to get to an end point. It's a dynamic practice of awareness, of staying curious in the body. Yeah. One more breath here, opening inhale. And on your exhale, hands come down to the floor. And we'll get ready for downward facing dog. Actually, we're going to start with a half dog pose here, taking a big step forward with your hands. And then you'll keep your knees right under your hips and gently soften your chest, your forehead towards the floor. And the arms are dynamic here, so you want to keep lifting through the forearms, drawing your shoulder blades down onto the back, and then just softening. So if your head makes it to the floor, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. Keep tuning into your in-breath and your out-breath. The in-breath perhaps maybe a little more dynamic. The out-breath maybe finding a little more softening stillness. And then on your inhalation, go ahead and come up onto all fours again. You can have the hands slightly forward of the chest. Make sure the creases of your wrists are lined up with the front of your mat. And then plug and anchor the hands in. Tuck your toes under and lift. Lift your hips with your knees quite bent. So we'll take this first dog pose modified, as we usually do. Knees bent. And with the knees bent, you can get a lot more extension in your spine. If this feels like too much at any point on the wrists or the hands, you can come back down and do a modified dog pose. So most importantly, please take care of your body. And then from here, we'll walk our dog. So you're going to keep the right knee bent, extend your left heel to the floor. And then hold it for 5 breaths. And if you're on your knee, you can stretch out the leg and just work open the calf here. And then we'll bend the other knee, maybe a little bit more like 3 breaths. Breathe into the whole back line of your leg. There's a continuous fascial connection through the back of your leg. So you want to follow that connection and open up that whole fascial line. Beautiful. And then we'll go ahead from here and walk your feet up to your hands. And we'll separate the feet just a little bit wider than hip distance. And if your hamstrings are on the tight side, it's not a bad thing. Actually, it can be really almost sometimes better because you can feel a little bit more. Then you just want to bend the knees a little bit. Okay, if you're more flexible there, you can straighten the legs and work the quad muscles up. And then exhale, take our elbows and hang the upper body. We're just warming up the legs, warming up the spine. You can sway from side to side. This is getting some nice traction in the spine, also the neck. And then we can also just wake up the toes and feet here. Great opportunity for that. And I'm going to let your arms hang down, bend your knees, and keep the head hanging heavy as you slowly roll all the way up to standing. If you happen to get lightheaded when you stand, you're just going to take the hands here and find your breath, and that'll get rid of the lightheadedness. Okay, so let's come into a mountain pose here at the front of our mats. We'll stand with the big toes together. Heels are slightly apart. If you happen to be knock-kneed, You want to take your feet a little bit apart and stand with the feet hip distance apart. Okay. So we want to find that same position in the pelvis where the belly is slightly lifted, the lower back is lengthening towards the heels, and then you can let your body oscillate and organize in the feet. So finding the very center of your feet. Yeah, arms are resting down by your sides, shoulders aligned over the pelvis, and then bring your head right back on the top of your spine so the chin comes slightly back and in. So this is really the foundation of your practice today. Your standing pose practice is here. Okay, and we'll start to move through a modified sun salutation, spinning the arms externally. Exhale the breath out. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Look to your thumbs, touch your palms, and exhale. Just a couple of breaths here. Hands come right down your center line, all the way down, reaching fingertips to the floor. Inhale, radiate the arms wide and up, side body stretches. Exhale, the hands come right down your center line, and your hands can help you ground the feet into the earth. Inhale, so you can actually feel this stillness and dynamic movement here in this pose. Exhale, hands come down. This next one we're going to move, so inhale, sweep the arms wide and up, look to your thumb. Turn the palms out, and as you exhale, up and over. Just follow the breath nice and slow. Deep forward fold, bend the knees if needed. Inhale, halfway lift. Straighten out your spine. Exhale, we'll step the left leg back, bring your back knee to the floor. And inhale, we're going to come up nice and slow, sweeping the arms up. Stay connected from the hips to the ground, and then rise. Exhale your hands down. Separate the hands shoulder width apart, step back onto the knees, and then lower, leading with your chest, and then you'll just slide your way into the baby cobra. So baby cobra, just to warm up. Okay, keep the elbows in, shoulders rolling back, and spread your toes. Take a breath here. And then you can rise up a little further into full cobra, keeping those elbows in. Make sure the toes are spreading, all 10 toes. Exhale, lower. Press back, and you can take a pause here. It's really nice to take a pause in a half dog pose. Yes, keep slowing it down. If you notice that pattern you have of rushing and moving quickly, just slow it down a notch. And then you'll make your way into a downward facing dog. And you can come into this first dog pose with your knees bent if you like, or legs straight. Just try not to round the back. If you feel the lower back rounding, you want to bend the knees. And breathe, and just enjoy a couple of full breaths here, warming up the body. And follow your next exhalation all the way out. Step your left foot between your hands. Gently release the back knee down, and take one full in-breath to reach the arms up. Exhale the hands to the floor. Inhale, slow movements, lifting. Gently rest the hands on the shins, opening up the heart space. Exhale, fold forward. Deep bow to yourself. And as you inhale, leading with your heart, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. Stay rooted and exhale. Hands to the heart. Just take a moment here. You can take a moment just to set a heart intention for your practice. Maybe even noticing the state you're in right now, which might be great, might not feel so great, doesn't matter. Just noticing the state you're in, noticing the state that you want to inspire in your practice today, maybe offer your practice to those in need. Just coming into a state of peace or love, and breathe deeply. And see if you can let that state flow and weave through the rest of your practice. Exhale, open the eyes, release the arms. Inhale, so if that state was peace, you can radiate peace out from the center of your heart. And then exhale, as you fold, you can even make an offering to yourself as you fold. Peace. Hands to the shins. Inhale. Radiate. Lengthen. Exhale, step both feet back. And we'll stay here for a breath in the plank pose. So be careful not to collapse your belly here or your shoulders. Okay? So the belly lifts, heart is soft, and shoulder blades on the back. And then take another breath here, lifting the belly. Start to activate the core in the belly. And then exhale, lower the knees, chest, and slide your way into a cobra. Spreading all 10 toes, open up that heart space. Bring that state of peace, openness, love. Exhale, lower. Reach back through the knees. Again, you can take a pause in the half dog or go right into full downward facing dog and breathe. And just for this downward facing dog, focus solely on your breath. I want you to notice where the breath moves more freely, maybe where it gets a little more stuck or held. It's all okay. Nothing's right or wrong here as we move our bodies. It's just, remember, just a curiosity to hold, exploring, bring awareness. So as we become aware of where we hold tension, then we can begin to let it go. Exhale your breath to the very bottom, and then you'll walk up to the top of your mat. Feet together or slightly apart, inhaling, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, ground through the feet. And on the in-breath, nice and slowly, leading with your heart space, sweep the arms up. And exhale, just come right back to your center line as your hands come down your center line. It's connecting to that center of your body, the still point, the stillness. And from that stillness, you'll feel the dynamic movement of your body, of the energy. And then we'll do one more sun salutation. Inhale, open up the side ribs. Exhale, fold forward. And ground. Inhale, halfway lift, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, step back, plank pose. One breath here. Good. So from the core of your navel, see if you can radiate out through the heels, out through the crown of the head with a soft smile. And then on the exhale, you can either lower down with straight legs, reverse push-up, or knees come to the floor. Inhale right through into a cobra. Nice soft smile, radiate the energy from the heart. Exhale, lower. And then press back into half or full dog pose and breathe. And if you're not feeling that state yet, it's all okay. You just want to work through the body. Maybe you're still feeling some of that anxiety and fear. This is really a practice where you can just simply bring awareness to what's there and move the body. Keep the breath flowing. Let the eyes be soft and steady. And then we'll finish our next exhale completely. And you can either walk or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, deep bow. Keep the legs strong and alive as you inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And on the exhale, hands come down the center line. Just pause here for a moment with the hands at the heart. And again, let your body find its midline. So the body is self-organizing. It's a self-organizing system. So if we get quiet enough and still enough, the body will self-organize to line up with gravity and sky. So earth and sky. And then we'll open the eyes. Nice, everyone. And then separate your feet about hip distance apart. Make sure that the feet are parallel to one another. We'll take the hands onto the hips. Yeah. And then root, kind of like you're a tree. There's lots of trees behind me you can see. So you want to take the energy of the tree and root down through the feet and legs. And then from there, inhale, lift up through the sides. Open up the chest, open to the spaciousness of the sky. And exhale, fold. And we'll take a hold of our big toes with the middle and index finger, wrapping the thumb and index finger around. Then inhale, take another breath and center your weight in your feet. And then on the exhale, elbows bend. So you want to let your head hang nice and heavy, but the shoulders are moving away from the floor. So you're not sagging the shoulders. Okay? And just find your breath here. Again, find that center place. And if you notice any gripping in your toes, that's okay too. Just see if you can gently stretch the toes open, relax the feet. When the arches of the feet are functioning but relaxed, it opens up the brain. It softens the mind. Brings us into presence. One more breath here. Exhale. Inhale up to halfway. Exhale, hands to your hips, and then inhale, slowly come on up. It's kind of fun to hop a little in the practice. So you can hop your feet together, and then we'll hop the feet apart. And you want to hop about one leg length apart. So you can just make a guess there. And then we'll turn the right foot straight out. Keep the back foot as it is. We're going to come into triangle pose. We're going to start here with the hands on the hips. I just want you to get this feeling of moving your hips when you come over. Right, so as you come over, you're actually tipping the hips to the right. Now we'll take the arms in, inhale, and exhale, reach, tipping the hips, and you can take the hand to where it comes, shin or ankle, and then turn to look up at your thumb and smile. So you come into the posture and don't go right into trying to manipulate and do the details. Just come in and feel the whole energy of the pose. Maybe it feels good, maybe it's challenging. Just be with it as it is. Let's see if you can feel the whole shape. Maybe even sense the triangle shapes in the pose. There's a few. And then open your feet up. Open the feet, pressing the big toe under the front foot, outer edge of your back foot. Use those as anchor points to find more space. Breathe. Exhale completely. Press through the legs, and you're going to inhale, come on up, reaching through the arm. Beautiful. Turn to the other side, left foot out. Turn the right foot in. Inhale, arms stretch wide, and exhale, up and over, tipping those hips. Yeah, and just come into the pose, take a breath, open and soften. I just want you to explore that inner space today. Notice where you don't feel space. And then see if you can soften. Maybe it's the jaw, even on the hip. See if you can soften. Find more space. Smile. Smiling actually helps. And spread the feet. Last couple of breaths here. See if you can lengthen from your tailbone out through the crown of your head. Extend. Follow your exhalation, press through the legs, and inhale, come on up, turn your feet parallel. Great, and then we're just gonna hop or walk the feet back together and stop and feel. Let your body find that dynamic stillness through the mountain pose. And then you'll open your eyes, and let's go ahead and again, bend the knees and hop or step. Maybe this time a tiny bit wider with the feet. Turn your right foot out. Inhale the arms wide. Exhale, bend the front knee just directly over the ankle. So you notice when I bend, I don't move the spine. I'm going to keep your spine vertical as you bend the knee. Yeah, let the arms come in line with the shoulders. Let the arms really be an extension from that space of the heart. Yeah, and then the gaze is off the fingertips. Embody that energy of warrior, whatever comes to your mind when you think of what it is to be a warrior. See if you can embody it. It's a little bit of strength and openness, right? And then inhale the reversed, left hand onto the back leg. Open up this right waistline. See if you can keep bending the front knee as you open the waist. And then on the next exhale, forearm comes onto the thigh. And just pause here with your left hand down. So you're going to take an out breath here. Yeah, soft out breath. And move the hips back a little bit, scoop the tailbone under. Inhale, stretch the left arm overhead. And breathe. So the focal point here is really in the core of your pelvis. And then from that focal point, we draw energy in as we inhale to the focal point in the pelvis, and then radiate from that point out. So you can actually physically radiate out through the fingers, toes. Inhale, come on up. You guys are doing great. We'll slowly turn to the other side. Left foot out, right foot parallel. Inhale, exhale, bend the knee. Warrior two. Look over the fingers. And breathe, connect inside the body. So you want to settle in, find the still point, particularly at the bottom of the out breath. Feel the support of your bones, muscles maybe softening a little bit more. And then inhale, reverse the warrior for a breath or two. Great opportunity to get some space here in the floating rib, side body. Exhale, forearm onto the thigh. Spin your top arm overhead. And look to the thumbs. So the eyes are soft, looking either up towards the arm or towards the fingers. Of course, if you have neck tension, relax the tension. So where can you yield a little bit more? Softening in, finding the ground. Where can you open a little bit more? Extend yourself. Inhale, come on up. Beautiful. We'll turn the feet parallel here. Let's scoot the feet just a few inches in. Make sure the feet are parallel for this next pose. And then we'll take the hands onto the hips. And pause here for a moment. So just I want you to notice for a moment, where's the weight hanging out on your feet? Sometimes we go too far back into the heels, sometimes too far forward. So you just want to find that place in the middle. Let your body oscillate. Yeah, balanced action with the quads and the hamstrings. And then inhale, side body lifting, shoulders back, the arm bones back. And exhale, fold forward. Hands to the floor. Now you'll take an extra breath here, looking up, and again, centering the weight in the feet. So the big toe mound, little toe mound, inner heel, outer heel. And then exhale, fold forward. And breathe. Just let go. Let go. Lift the quad muscles. Soften the upper back, the chest, the eyes. Deepen your breath. We'll finish the next exhale completely. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips and ground through the feet as you come on up. And then we'll step the feet together. And let's go ahead and shake a little. Shake out your legs. Shake out your arms, your shoulders, your head. Just shake your whole body up and down. Just notice the aliveness starting to come back in. This is just your own life force energy that you have access to in your own body. It's just the asana practice is just opening up the channels of energy that are within your body. So we're going to take the feet a little bit wider. Yeah, so we'll take the feet about one leg length this time, not as wide. Turn your right foot straight out. And then turn your back toes in, this time about 45 degrees. So when you do that, your hips are going to face forward, both your hips. Okay? And then ground the outer edge of your back foot. Big toe mound of the front foot. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, reach forward. It doesn't really matter how far you come. Now, if you have a block, which I don't have with me, or a book, you can put your hands on the book. Also nice to put your hands on a wall here. If your hamstrings are not allowing you to go forward, just place your hands on the wall. If you have a little more flexibility, hands come down on either side of the foot. And then if you're all the way down, take another breath, lifting the belly and draw the outer right hip back. And then exhale, fold and bow. And just wake up the back foot a little bit more. Yeah, feel the connection of your feet up into the hips and the pelvis. And then just like the last couple of breaths, just be with the sensation. Listen to the body. Remember, there's nowhere to get to. We're simply in a curiosity, exploration. And then you'll finish your next breath completely. Bring your hands to your hips and slowly push through the legs to come on up. Turn your feet parallel and just pause here in the middle. And if you get some of that lightness, lightheadedness, bend the knees, hands to the thighs. And then you can just move on over to the other side. And making sure the back foot is about 45 degrees in, not too far in. And on the in-breath, reach the arms up, square off those hips. Exhale, reach forward, stay grounded, and just come to that first edge for you. Either place the hands here on the shin or wall in front of you, or hands down. Inhale again. And you want to anchor the left big toe mound as you slide the left hip crease back. And exhale, fold. As you get to know me, I'm very detail oriented, but I also love to go into the non-linear. So we can work that form, and then we want to let it go and simply breathe. Breathe the space. And inhale, look up halfway. Exhale the hands onto the hips, and inhale, come all the way up. We'll turn the feet parallel and either walk or hop back to center. Again, just do a little shake if you need to. I always find a shake is good. Moving a lot in the body, so shaking helps to fully let it go. Okay, so we'll do a couple of balancing poses. I hope you're all doing well out there. Let's come into the tree pose here. And we'll start by standing on the left leg. Lift your right knee. Now you're going to just decide if your foot comes to the inner calf, or you can see about bringing your foot up a little higher. So a lot of times people say their foot slips here. That's because you're not giving enough pressure. So you have to push the leg and the foot in towards each other, and then simultaneously ground the standing leg. That's going to kind of stabilize the pose. Then you can start to let the rebound happen up through your spine and inhale the arms up. My arms are a little out of the picture, I can see. You can also have your hands here in a prayer position with the elbows wide. It's a great variation here. Now, if your balance is tricky, I've worked pretty hard on my balance. It's not always totally stable. If your balance is tricky, just put your hand on the wall. Okay, you can use the wall as a little bit of a prop. If you ever feel out of balance, this is a great pose to bring you into balance, to work your way into balance. And if you know anything about balance, balance is dynamic. Yeah. My body is very dynamic right now. Good, and then we'll exhale slowly, release the arms. Now you're going to see if you can come right into this next pose. If not, you can bring the foot down and make the transition after you bring the foot down. Otherwise, you're going to reach back and take a hold of the top of your foot or ankle. I'm going to come into the dancer's pose, and I'm going to go sideways so you can see me here. Yeah. So you're going to first start by squeezing the thighs towards each other so they're parallel, and then as you exhale, drop your tailbone down. So with balance, it's really important to get the downward flowing ground. Then you'll inhale, reach up, and slowly exhale, come forward. Now, it doesn't matter how far down you get. You might start just, a few inches. Some of you might be able to come a little further down. Okay to fall out, as I am. Yeah. Whoop. This side's a little trickier for me. Okay, so just find that place for you. Spend a couple of breaths right at your edge, pushing the foot back into the hand. And then on the inhale, come on up, and exhale, release. I realize doing two of the balancing poses on one side definitely creates a little burn. So maybe you're experiencing that too. So we're gonna come onto the other side here. Ground the right leg. Take your foot up either onto the inner calf or inner thigh. Whoop. Yeah. And then you'll just start with the balance. Hands fold at the heart, elbows float. And so remember that balancing, one of the key points is to ground, to drop, to yield, to drop the tailbone down, to yield down first like a tree. As it grows its roots down, then it grows up. Just another breath or two here. Find a soft smile on your face. And then as you exhale, release, and see if you can either just go right into the dancer's pose or you can take a break in between. When you come into this first part of the dancer's pose, thighs are parallel, tailbone down, and then as you push the foot back, you're not letting it go wide. Okay? Arms stretch out in front. Just come right to that first edge for you and breathe. Steady the gaze. And then as you inhale, come back up. Exhale, release. Good, shake. Do a little shake, whatever shake you need to do. Excellent. And let's come to the front of our mats. We'll move through a sun salutation. Inhale, the arms stretch up to the sky. Exhale, your hands come right down into forward fold. Inhale up halfway. And then as you exhale, step your left leg back, and we're going to scoot the right foot all the way to the side. And then just take both your hands on the inside of your foot here. Okay? So you can either stay here, it's totally fine if you feel that edge in your hip. You're just going to stay here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, it totally works to come down to one or both elbows. Should feel like a really nice opening hip stretch. And sinking in a little bit deeper. Inhale, you'll walk your way up, and then we'll go ahead and step back to a downward facing dog. Stretching all the way back, full stretch in the spine. And then we'll step the left foot forward, bring the back knee to the floor, and then again, walk your left foot all the way to the outer edge of your mat, both hands here inside. And you can start here. See how that feels, maybe even making some little circles in your hips, and just go right up to the edge of the sensation and breathe. So your breath can be sort of your inner body worker, right? That goes right up into the areas of tension and then softens them. Breathe. And if you'd like, coming down a little further. Sinking in, get a little heavy in the hips. And then we'll inhale slowly, come on up. And exhale, take it back to a downward dog again. Just feel the outer edges of your hip joints, and notice if you feel a little different after the hip opener. Inhale, plank, and exhale. Lower the knees, lower the chest. And we're going to come into variation of Shalabhasana. This is a back bending pose. And you're going to reach back, interlace the hands behind the back, and then take this little exhalation here. And without clenching your buttocks, you just want to start to move the tailbone down a little bit towards the heels. When you do that without clenching the buttocks, you're going to feel the lumbar spine lengthen. So that's what you want when you go into back bend. When you'll inhale, lift the head and chest, spread the toes. Eyes are looking down past the tip of the nose. Just take a couple of breaths here. You lift the chest, working those back muscles. Back of the neck stays long, inhale. And then on the exhale, hands by the chest. And go ahead and press back. Take a child's pose here. So if it's challenging, I know some people, it's really challenging to come into a child's pose. Okay, so it might be restriction in the knee or calves. If that's you, you can just come into a modified child's pose on your knees. Okay, otherwise, sitting back on the heels and take a few deep breaths here. Beautiful. Keep slowing it down. Slow down your breath. Slow down your movements. And then we're just nice and slowly going to come up to sitting. Everybody, you're doing great. Good practice today. Let's go ahead and extend the legs out in front of us. Now, if your spine is rounded, sit up on a blanket or a little height. And we'll take the left thigh bone, and at the same time, you're going to pull the flesh out from the sitting bone and roll the thigh in. And do the same on the other side. It's not a big, huge movement, just a slow movement. You should be able to feel like you're much more up on your sitting bones. Okay, then you can draw the lower back in and up, thigh bones root down. Just take your hands by your sides for a couple of breaths and breathe here. Let the chin drop towards the chest. And breathe through the length of your spine. So as little as effort as possible here to keep the spine more upright, shoulders back. Then from here, we're going to go right into a forward fold. So inhale the arms up and exhale, hinge. You're going to hinge right here at the creases of the hips. That might mean you come an inch forward. It doesn't matter. That's where you're going to stay. And take your hands onto your shins. If you can come a little further, take the ankles. Maybe you can take the outer feet without crunching the spine. So keep that elongation in the spine. Inhale, out through the crown, back of the neck long. And exhale, just going slowly. Listen to your body here. So you start to become much more aware. Where are the tension points? Where am I tensing where I don't need to tense? Can I go into those places that are tensed up, that are tight? And can I just find a tiny bit more space? Just a little more opening. Doesn't need to be a lot, just a little. And just listen. Let your ears be open to your body, the intelligence of the body. Feel the wind on the inside, the dynamic movement. And then we'll inhale, come on up. We'll come right back into tabletop. Feet bend, or you can do the next pose, Purvottanasana, with the legs straight. See, I only know the Sanskrit name. I don't know the English name. So the legs are straight for the full pose. And then when you come up, shoulders roll back, legs are straight, and the inner feet reach towards the floor. This is definitely a stronger pose here. If it feels like too much, you'll just come into tabletop. Knees are bent. It's still same effects of the pose, just a little more modified. Open up the chest here, front of the arms, and then on your exhale, release. Beautiful. And then we'll come into Janu Shasana. So with the legs straight out, you'll pull your right foot out, right knee out, and then bring the foot in. And then take both arms up on the inhale, stretch way up. And on the exhale, keep the elongation as you fold. So it doesn't matter, again, how far you come down. You might be grabbing your calf, ankle, or foot. And then just work your way in. Go inside the body. So much of our yoga practice is just a practice of getting to know ourselves. Becoming aware of your body, aware of your breath. Where are your edges? And keep the smile, right? So that you can meet those edges with compassion, with kindness. Even meeting those emotions that might rise up that don't feel so good, you can meet them with your awareness. Exhale, folding in just a little bit deeper. And then we'll inhale, come on up. Great, everyone. Stretch the leg out, and we'll take the other knee out, foot in for Janushirshasana, left side. Inhale, arms up, reach. Turn your ribs towards the right leg, and then exhale, hinge. Don't worry about how far down you get. Maybe shin, maybe ankle, maybe foot. Inhale. And just use the in-breath to explore more opening in there. And the exhale to deepen. And you'll finish out one more breath here. Exhale, fully letting go, grounding in, and then inhale, come on up. Great, and we'll take it right into Baddha Konasana. So you'll bring the soles of the feet together. It's also called butterfly pose. And again, if the back is quite rounded, you'll sit up on a little height. Even a pillow works. Yep. And you can also bring your hands back behind you to elongate the spine. So that's the number one, is get the spine elongated, knees wide. And then you can take the hands around the feet and open up the feet like a book. And then as you exhale, come slowly forward. For maybe some of you, that might be a quarter of an inch. And some of you might be more open in your hips and groins, and you can just go right to wherever your edge is and wait. So patience, all of the hip opening poses, the forward bends, they all require a level of patience and focus. And focus in on the breath. And really full breaths. You may notice that you're really good with the in-breaths, but you don't finish your out-breaths. In that case, just focus in on the bottom of your exhale. Maybe you get stuck in the exhale. Then you want to bring more in-breath. Go into the stillness. Go into the inner stillness, inner quiet. Let your mind become more present with the sensations right where you are. Inhale, we'll come on up. We're going to move into our second to last pose here. Legs stretch out into about a 90-degree angle here. Yeah, and then if this is challenging just to be here in this pose, you'll take your hands back behind your hips and just sit up nice and tall. Yeah, thigh bones grounding. Also, if you have two big heavy sandbags here, knees and toes point straight up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in here. And then if you feel like you go a little deeper, you can walk the hands either out in front, which is really nice, or hands take a hold of the ankles or feet. And breathe your way in. Feel your way in. And if there's no place to end up at, then you can actually really be present. Just go right to the first place where you feel sensation, resistance. Just wait, see what happens. Relax the jaw. And then we'll inhale very slowly, come on up, and then lift your knees, slow. And we're going to lie on our backs again, just like we started out in the beginning of our practice, with the knees bent, feet hip distance apart. Take a moment here, feeling the nice natural curve in your lower back and in your cervical spine. Try to keep those curves. We're going to exhale the breath all the way out. Feet are parallel. Start to press into the feet to lift the hips. And the knees are going to go towards the toes as the chest goes towards the head. So you're going to get that nice opening. Interlace the hands under the back. Walk your shoulders straight in towards each other. And breathe. So you might feel like you're at your edge here, or you might want to press, anchor a little more into the inner heels to lift the hips. Let the chin be neutral here. And see if you can breathe in between the ribs, which are the intercostal muscles. Breathe into the diaphragm area. So I'm going to cultivate more breath capacity in this pose. Go ahead and take one more breath, maybe lifting the hips maybe 1/4 of an inch or an inch higher. And then nice and slow, release the hands from under the back and slowly release your hips down. Just let your sacrum be heavy to the ground, the lower back be heavy to the ground. Take a breath or two. And then we'll draw the knees into the chest here and squeeze. Squeeze your knees in. You can even roll side to side, releasing any tension in the back. Then take the knees wide. If you want to do a deeper hip opening, take the outer edges of your feet into what we call happy baby. So you want to move the tailbone back to the floor as you draw the outer feet down. And then knees come back together. Give yourself a full squeeze. Take your feet, bring your forehead to your knees and squeeze. Squeeze into a whole ball. And then you're going to lie out for the final corpse pose. Legs and feet apart. Walk your shoulders back so the palms face up towards the ceiling. If you feel like you might get chilled at all, you can put an extra piece of clothing on or a blanket. And you're simply going to rest back. Okay, so I want you to start by closing the eyes, letting go of any tension in your face or your jaw. Let your eyeballs soften and sink back into their sockets. Let go of any tension in your jaw, your face. Let go of the tension in your forehead. And then all the way back into the back of your skulls, relaxing any tension. Simply allow yourself to fully rest back. Let go of any tension in your muscles. Relax the skin on the soles of the feet, palms of your hands. Let go of all your thoughts. If you notice your thoughts still active, it's okay. Just imagine you're just watching, you're the witness to your thoughts. Thoughts are like a movie, and the witness is like the screen, just watching the thoughts. Just keep letting go, softening, relaxing. Allow your body to drop fully into the ground, drop into gravity. Feel the heaviness, the weightiness of earth. Great. And then you're going to come out by just slowly coming back to your breath and taking a few deeper in breaths and out breaths. And as you deepen your breath, begin to find some movement in the toes and fingers, stretching your arms overhead. Give yourself a full body stretch. And reach out through the toes and feet. And then as you exhale, bend your knees, roll to your side. Just take a moment on your side and rest in. And then you want to keep your legs and hips heavy and roll all the way up to sitting. And go ahead and come up to a comfortable seat, resting your hands at your heart, and any external noises, just let them drop you even deeper into presence. So whatever the external distractions might be in your world, just simply, rather than getting irritated, let them drop you even deeper into presence. And just take a moment here in deep gratitude, sealing in your practice. And then just take a gentle bow in gratitude. Great. And inhale, come on up. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. Again, I'm Alison Litchfield, and if you want to know more about my work, I also offer yoga privates and one-on-one sessions. If you want to know more about my work, you can go to my website at alisonlitchfield.com. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining ZENTS Wellness Room. Have a beautiful day.